the Flash 2022 annual is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Serge Acuna, colors by Matt Erms, and letters by AW's Justin Birch. And this annual starts off with Warden Gregory Wolf of Iron Heights announcing his candidacy for mayor, and he's running on the campaign of putting zero tolerance on crime and giving inmates second chances after serving their sentences. The story then shifts to Wally talking with Linda about how she got her powers, with both Wallace and Wally saying maybe she got struck by lightning, even though Linda is saying that is not what happened. And it's at this point that Wallace actually lets it slip that he already knew about her powers, and then skedaddles quickly because, he just let a secret slip. Wally tries to take the situation a little more lightly, but Iris laments her own fear about what does this mean moving forward? Does she have to be a superhero? And that she's just completely scared. Wally unfortunately does not help the situation any by way of a joke in giving her the name Lightspeed, but then Wally tells her that they will figure it out together, which does cheer her up. And it's at this point that Linda realizes she's running late for a meeting about her book promotion, so she rolls off and Wally stays behind to read her book. And it's then the story shifts to the book itself. And the book is about a woman named Beth Hunter who's just going through life, following her plan, college, love, marriage, chasing her dreams of being a writer. And in the story, she actually lands a job in the mailroom of a newspaper where her focus shifts from writing to becoming a reporter. And it's somewhere in this area that her husband leaves her. The book doesn't really explain why, but the reader, I believe, is left to assume that her dedication to work caused a rift in their relationship. The book then jumps 5 years into the future with Beth covering a story about a farmer's mutilated cows, which this is followed by an earthquake and a giant porcupine monster coming up out of the ground and chasing them. And just when Beth thought she was going to die, she's saved by a spaceman named William East, who is in the likeness of Wally West, just with longer hair, and William kills the monster before asking Beth to come back with him, of which she agrees to it, and when she's on the ship, meets a slew of characters that Linda based off of other Flash characters. And it's one of the characters, Rathaway, who explains to her what their mission is, and after seeing their destination as a black hole, Beth concludes that Kadabra is a villain and had set up William and his crew. And suddenly out of nowhere, they are attacked by a giant space cobra, but luckily they teleport out before their ship was destroyed, which takes them now to confront Kadabra, who then rushes out into space with William giving chase. And Beth swoops in at the last minute to grab Kadabra's controlling rod, where she then blacks out momentarily, but when she awakens, she and William kiss, which ends the story. Wally puts the book down, having enjoyed it, and then picks up the phone to ask Wallace for a favor. He then goes to meet up with Linda, tells her how much she means to him. She then asks for sea salt caramel gelato, which is something she craved when she was pregnant with the twins. And the story ends on the question, is Linda pregnant? And I thought the story was decent. Not exactly what I was wanting out of the Flash annual. I actually wanted Flash primarily, but I mean, it was an enjoyable enough read. I mean, what we did get between Wally and Linda was very heartfelt and just, reminds me of how much love they have in their relationship and how far they've, really come as a couple because, I remember, reading like the Mark Waid run and such of The Flash where before they were married, before the kids, they definitely had that loving relationship element, but there was, at least for a while, that air of wonder in Linda's mind of where does she specifically fit in being, a normal human in Wally's superhero life around all of his superpowered friends. And even all the way back then, Wally tells her that it's not you that has to fit in with all of us, it's everyone else that has to fit in with us. And we see a lot of good things in this book, not just again how much Wally loves Linda, but also, that he will effectively go above and beyond to make her feel better when she's feeling down, and how the two are also kind of on the same wavelength at times. And again, I just enjoyed these segments so much that I wish the entire book was just based on it. I mean, in a manner of speaking, the cover is what I wanted out of this book. You know, maybe a story where Linda is feeling down and depressed, and then Wally just has to spend the entire book just maybe taking her to, you know, all their special places and whatnot, and saying, you know, hey, at the very end of it, it's just gonna be you and me. But don't get me wrong, the whole Wally reading the book segments were fine, and it does highlight how much Linda puts, you know, herself and her own experiences into her characters, of which Wally is able to derive how she feels based on that writing. And the book also does give good subtext about how Linda in her life, you know, feels in general as well, where, you know, she was growing up, she had a plan, she tried to execute that plan, the plan went off the rails, and instead she found herself in a world full of adventure. And the concept of the book itself is interesting. It was kind of like a mishmash of Star Trek meets Guardians of the Galaxy. But if the book hadn't braked every once in a while to give us a few panels of Wally getting a snack or something, I honestly would have forgotten I was reading a Flash book altogether. And speaking of that book, like, you know, can you imagine if it becomes, you know, a huge breakout success? Everybody's buying it. Linda and Wally, they make millions of dollars. And then out of nowhere, Kadabra just comes out of the woodwork, maybe Captain Cold, and they band together to sue Linda for likeness rights. Because I'm pretty sure she did not secure anybody's permission before going ahead and just, you know, inserting, you know, all these characters based on real people, not just, you know, characterizations, but again, they look exactly like how they would. You know, Rathway looks like the Pied Piper. Kadabra looks exactly like Kadabra. Definitely not a lot of room for plausible deniability. As far as the art goes, I really enjoyed it. It's got this very interesting sort of like anime style to it. Some good dynamic shots of, you know, some speedster action with, you know, mostly just kind of lightning and stuff, and some good creature designs. You know, I like that porcupine monster. And at the very heart of it, the Flash 2022 annual, it's a love story. It's a feel-good story. It encapsulates the love that Wally and Linda feel for each other, but also does leave a little bit to be desired in terms of, you know, how much interaction they really have over the course of this book. Because as entertaining as the book segment was, as much as these characters are made to look like, you know, Wally and Linda and such, these are still characters in a book. This is not Wally and Linda specifically. And that relationship between Wally and Linda is why I'm here. So it's not a bad book, it's just not the book I wanted while picking up a Flash title. And it still does well enough with the material that it does provide. And with that, I'm gonna score the Flash 2022 annual a 7 out of 10. So the Flash 2022 annual, what did you think about this book if you've read it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these two videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.